Ambiguity can slowly erode, dissolve, and eventually kill your business. And we don't want that. Hey, it's Scott Beebe. It's time to be liberated from the chaos of working in your business right here on the Business on Purpose podcast. I was sitting with a heroic small business owner yesterday, and he brought up a book. It's called Reality-Based Leadership. I don't remember who the author of the book was. But in the book, he opened up and shared with me a really insightful overview of what ultimately kills small business. And the statistics are stacked against a lot of small business owners, and we've heard a lot of them. And I don't want to be doom and gloom. In fact, I want to do just the opposite. I want to see what are the factors that typically kind of erode and dissolve a business. And then let's work those factors backwards and let's awaken ourselves to the realization of what are the disciplined things that we can put in place? What are the tactical things that we can put in place? In addition to the motivational, the soft things as well, so that our business can thrive, so that we can serve the communities that we live in, even the communities that we don't live in, because of the value of the business that we get to build, that we get to own. Now we get to serve. Business is powerful. So what erodes? Well, there are three things that are laid out in this book, Reality-Based Leadership. Number one, and what creates ambiguity, is a lack of alignment. A lack of alignment. Number two is a lack of a role. And number three is a lack of a process. So let's lay these out. A lack of alignment. You might ask, well, how do you get aligned to specific work cases? How do you get aligned within the business? Guys, you hear me talk about it a lot, and it's incessant. And I'm constantly amazed. Not amazed, I should use a different word. I'm constantly influenced, curious, that there are some business owners, although they've been under the influence of vision, mission, values, systems, and processes, that they still don't implement. They still get very, very scattered when they've got one thing to do. Let's say, for instance, this week we're going to focus on, I'm just going to make something up, writing thank you notes. That's going to be the hallmark of our focus this week. And it sounds so small, right? Well, we understand that could be a major part of a nurturing campaign. That could be a major part of connecting with clients, with potential clients, with those sorts of things. And then what happens is we lay out that idea, we lay out that strategy on Monday. And by Tuesday, we're already on to a new strategy. And we're overwhelmed because we're saying, cash flow's tight. And all of these other impulses come in, and ambiguity sets in because there's immediately a lack of alignment. Hey, we were all locked in on this one thing, or you were locked in on this one thing, I was locked in on this other thing. And they were aligned together, but as soon as chaos hit, as soon as a fire started, it knocked us out of alignment. Think of an automobile. When you're in a car, everything's good. We do a lot of travel to Nigeria. One of the big things they struggle with is alignment in automobiles. Why? It's because a lot of the roads in Nigeria, they struggle to keep them smooth. And so potholes prevail in Nigeria a lot of the times. Not all over the place, but in a fair amount of at least the places that we go. And so it is very uncommon, not only for brakes and shocks and struts to be completely just worn out, but also for the automobile itself to be knocked out of alignment. Well, what happens when the car is knocked out of alignment? It begins to pull. The tires begin to influence the rest of the car and bias off the road. The same thing happens in our business. We lock in on one thing. If you don't stay committed to that one thing, Gary Keller, what's the one thing that by doing that one thing makes all other things easier and necessary? Eventually it biases you off the road. Number two, a lack of alignment in role. Where there is no written and reviewed job description, then there is no clarity. Where there is no written and reviewed job description, then there is no clarity. I don't know that we need any more commentary on it. It's just true. If you don't have roles written out, write them out. If you don't have your roles reviewed on a regular basis, review them during your weekly team meetings. Make it a priority. If not, it's going to create ambiguity. Number 3 is a lack of process. I was so excited. One of the architects we have the privilege of being able to work with recently submitted all of her processes, her top 5 processes that she'd been building. And it was interesting, they were all handwritten. And I realized, wow, she likes to sketch for a living as a profession. And so she essentially sketched out, in written word, but sketched out her processes. However is best for you to document processes, whether it's writing it with a pen, documenting it with some sort of digital processor, a Google Doc, Word doc, whatever it might be, a video. I actually had another architect who did a video of how to answer the phone. It's brilliant, absolutely brilliant, to teach your team how to answer the phone so it's always there. If you have a lack of process, you're going to create ambiguity. And I want you to hear what I just said. You're going to create ambiguity. So when ambiguity happens, we need to understand that we as business owners have created it. We need to own that we've created it because we don't have clear alignment, clear role, and clear process. So what's the next step for you? What role do you need to write down? What alignment conversation do you need to have? What process do you need to document? And then review and review and review and review, rinse and repeat. Let's go for clarity and not ambiguity. And we'll see you next time, right here on the Business on Purpose podcast.